Hey everyone, and welcome to the Balanced Bodies Blueprint. I am your host, Vinny Russo.
And I am your co-host, Dr. Eryn Stansfield.
And we're shifting gears from all the conventional fitness narrative you hear on most fitness podcasts, as our main emphasis lies in preventative healthcare, adopting a holistic approach to nutrition, and challenging the traditional views on various fitness topics.
Our mission with this podcast is to provide you with the information you need to achieve optimal health.
And on today's podcast, I am cutting straight to the point, and we are going to break down the top 5 traits or habits of my most successful clients. So basically the top 5 habits that they have in common to really provide efficient fat loss journeys. So whether you're just starting your journey or you've been at it for a while and you need that little extra push, this episode is really going to be for you. So let's dive right into it. And I'm going to start off with trait number 1, which is really buying into the process. So this might seem pretty obvious, but you have to understand how critical this actually is. You need to buy into the process from the get-go, right? So my clients who have seen the most drastic changes are the ones who actually understand that what they've tried in the past hasn't worked for them. And they need something new. They're searching out for an expert, and they need that guidance, and they're ready to trust the process. They're ready to trust my process, and they don't even hesitate about it. They dive all in right from the get-go. And when you're thinking about this, you need to see it from the perspective of, like, if you're still trying to find the best diet for you, or you're still looking to try out that next fad diet, then any diet that you've ever done up to this point in your life has not worked out for you. You might say, oh, but I lost, 20 pounds 5 years ago when I tried keto. All right. Well, how did that actually work for you? Because anyone can lose weight in a short period of time, but you have to understand that that is just a Band-Aid. It's a temporary fix, and it doesn't address any of the underlying habits, any of the mindset that you have that got you to where you actually realized you needed to change in the first place. So dropping pounds quickly, actually, yeah, it feels good in the moment, but look at yourself now if you're still looking for diets. Like, how frustrated are you now, right? How frustrated were you when you stopped that initial fad diet that lost, 15 to 20 pounds, and then you gained it all back? How frustrated were you when that happened? The clients who see the most drastic and efficient transformations already have in their mind that it's about creating this lifestyle that supports the transformation long-term. They're not looking for this quick fix. They're actually looking for a real solution. So they buy into the process from the get-go. That's trait 1. Trait number 2 that I find with my clients who have, or habit number 2, that I find with my clients that have the most successful fat loss transformations is intentionally moving. Now, this goes beyond just getting your steps in. It's about being conscious of how you move throughout the day. And my most successful clients, they don't just hit the gym for an hour and then go sit around all day. They find ways to stay active. And I'm not talking about movement. I am talking about movement that you do throughout the entire day, right? And what we call that is we call it NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And this NEAT is actually the biggest driving factor that's keeping your metabolism upregulated. See, exercise, it is important, and it plays a role in how you burn calories, but not nearly as much as your daily movement does. So things like walking and taking the stairs, even fidgeting, like you'll see me here, like, so my foot's going and I fidget nonstop. If you have a standing desk, like if you're standing instead of sitting, all of this movement that you don't even are really conscious of, it adds up. But you have to make it intentional. And the reason why you have to make it intentional is because as you go through this dieting process, there's something that's called metabolic adaptation. So that's going to kick in, right? And this is when your body actually starts to become more efficient with the calories that you're giving it. And as a result, as you suppress your calories and you go into a further deficit, what happens is your metabolism suppresses itself as well. And your unintentional movement actually tends to slow down. So I remember in my first ever pro competition, I was trying to thank everybody on social media, and my blinking was really, really slow. And even people were like, yo, are you okay? Like, and it was really just everything just kind of slowed down. I was at very, very low body fat percentage and my metabolism suppressed itself. So you might not even notice it, but your body will naturally try to conserve energy by moving less. And this is why you need to be conscious. You need to have that intentional movement, because if you're conscious of it, you know that you can maintain it and you can sustain it. So by intentionally adding more movement, whether that's, getting up every hour stretch, or when you have phone calls, maybe you're in sales, you're walking around during those phone calls, having a standing desk, incorporating multiple power walks into your daily routine, parking far away from where you actually need to go. If you do all this, you can actually avoid the suppression of your overall non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And this is going to be crucial for maintaining that calorie burn and continuing your fat loss process, even as your body tries to slow things down. I've seen it time and time and again with my clients who make it a point to stay very active throughout the day, and they're the ones who actually see the better results. And now it's not in terms of just fat loss, but also maintaining their energy levels and overall well-being. Let's go into habit number 3. So this is the third habit that I see with my clients. I see the best results, and plain and simple, it's staying hydrated. Now, I know that sounds simple, but when you stay properly hydrated, it really is a game changer. Because hydration is going to affect everything from your energy levels to your ability to recover after workouts. And what I see is that those clients who consistently drink enough water, they actually see faster results and they have a more enjoyable time going through that dieting process. So when it comes to water and hydration, things of that nature, I would recommend at least like 3 liters of water per day at a minimum. I drink up to, 6 liters, which I make pretty easy because, first thing in the morning, one of my habits is really to drink a whole liter of water right from the get-go. Yeah, I'd say 6 is probably my most. If I'm in competition mode, near the end, I would say close to my peak week, I'm up to like 6 to 7 to 8 liters. You have to be very careful with that as well. You don't want to overhydrate because you could dilute the electrolytes that are within your system. So if you are doing that, make sure you're still on your food and things of that nature. So focusing on staying hydrated, it can actually help you with thinking that you're hungry when you're actually thirsty. So you'll avoid that. And it also helps with satiety during a deficit because you're filling up your stomach, you're filling up and you're hitting those stretch receptors. So it actually makes you feel fuller for longer. So staying hydrated is that third habit that I see my clients who have the best results what they do. So let's go into number 4, right? So the fourth habit is weight training. Now, this to me is a non-negotiable. If you don't want to do it, I get it, but you're not going to see the best and most efficient results. You're not going to see the best body composition change. So if you're looking for that drastic transformation, it is a non-negotiable. And the clients who make the most progress are the ones who are lifting weights, but they're lifting with the intention to actually grow. And they do this about 3 times per week. So ladies, yes, it is okay to train heavy. It is okay to train hard. You're not going to get bulky. If anything, you're just going to look like you actually work out, which is why you go to the gym anyway. So you want to train with the intention to grow. I would say if you're going to come up with a range, probably go from a minimum of 2 times per week to a maximum of 5. I don't think you need 6. I definitely don't need 7. You need your body to actually recover from the workouts. So you have to make sure that you actually have some rest days in there. Now, with the intention to grow, you have to understand that the more muscle that you can build or at least maintain, the easier fat loss is actually going to be. So having more muscle means you're more metabolic, which means you burn through more calories. So you have an easier time with the fat loss. Now, I've had clients in the past who were cardio heads and they half-assed it in the gym because they just never really knew. But when we focused on the training aspect, their bodies responded very, very quickly. And I know like a lot of females like to use the word tone. And all tone is getting your body lean enough to show your hard-earned muscle. That's all it is. You need to have some muscle to show off, and then you get lean enough to actually show it. That's what tone is actually referring to. So just make sure you're actually going into the gym with that intention to grow. And if you're in there to just burn calories, then you're fucking wasting your time and you shouldn't be in there. I really, really believe wholeheartedly that resistance training is the key to unlocking your body's potential in terms of the way it looks. So that was 4. And then the last habit that I see my clients with the most efficient results actually do is minimizing or stopping alcohol consumption. Now, I'm not saying that you need to cut it out completely, but my most successful clients either eliminate it or drastically reduce their intake. So with alcohol, it's going to shift your metabolism from, burning the food to actually burning the alcohol. So you halt the metabolism of the food, which leads to the possibility of more storage. It will also lower your inhibitions, driving your discipline away, which, as we know, leads to bad decisions. It adds empty calories into your diet plan because there's 7 calories per gram of alcohol. And it really hinders your quality of sleep and recovery, which negates the reason why you go to the gym in the first place. Can you lose weight drinking alcohol? Of course you can, but it's just not as efficient. So if you enjoy being social and to maintain your quality of life, let's just say you need to have it on the weekends because it's something that you do with your friends or even with your spouse, that's okay, but you just need to accommodate for it. Right? If you still want to see progress, you have to accommodate for those calories coming in. Now, I would say, personally, give yourself 1 night per week, especially if you're in a dieting phase, keep it to a 1 night maximum per week so you could still have that progress and achieve those efficient results. If you're not in a dieting phase and you're looking at like a maintenance phase, 1 to 2 nights is fine, but the best results come from cutting it out completely. So there you have it. I mean, that's the 5 habits that the clients who achieve the best, most efficient body transformations actually all do. They buy into the process, they move intentionally, they stay hydrated, they train with weights with the intention to grow, and they minimize or eliminate alcohol completely. So if you are ready to see real change, these are the habits that you're going to have to start adopting as soon as possible. Just keep in mind that it's not about perfection, right? You don't have to be perfect with it. You just have to be consistent with it over a long period of time. So if you need help, this is what I do for a living. This is what we do here at Balanced Bodies. So you can just reach out to me on social media, or you can email me and we'll hook you up.
So on behalf of Balanced Bodies, we just want to say thank you for joining us on this episode of the Balanced Bodies Blueprint.
We are committed to bringing valuable content. And if you enjoyed today's episode, we'd greatly appreciate it if you can take a moment and like it and leave a 5-star review.
On Apple, just go to the show, scroll down to the bottom and rate it there. If you're on Spotify, go to the show's page, click the 3 dots, and you can rate it there as well.
And if you believe in the power of knowledge, share this episode on your social media to try and get the information out there to as many people as possible.
And as you navigate your own path towards better health, remember that Balanced Bodies is forever in your corner. See you all next week.
The podcast content may include discussions of medical topics and health-related information. However, the information provided should not be considered exhaustive or complete, and it should not be relied upon as a substitute for professional medical advice or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare providers with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or treatment.